I play a defense attorney who has, in essence, gone through a crisis of conscience and has begun to represent young men of color on a pro bono basis. And I come into this case because there's a young man, Mr. Wedmore, who is accused of rape, and he is suggesting that it was a friendly relationship with a neighbor, even a customer, you might say, and that there was no rape, and that most of the cases developed from the overzealousness of the SV unit and the prosecutors. And so somewhere along the line, it turns into, in essence, this big sort of contest in which the prosecutor's office and the SVU unit are basically trying to defend some turf and make sure that this case is well prosecuted in order to prove some point. And my whole point throughout the piece is that this is a shady case and a suspect, and so many things have gone wrong in this case. I believe my character is what you would call a good character, because I believe he's motivated by conscience, as opposed to someone who's simply trying to poke a thumb in the eye of the state. You know, part of what I think motivates him is just the idea that the state is just simply overreached. They've decided who's guilty and who's innocent beforehand, who is to be believed and who is not to be believed. So, in essence, instead of seeking to discover the truth, they've decided what it is, and they're going to prosecute based on that. And so, here's a character, Bayard Ellis, who has decided that he is going to hold the department to the same standards that anyone else is held to, you know, and make sure that instead of the defense attorney having to prove his client's innocence, that the state has to prove his guilt, and putting that to the test, in essence. Well, it's a bad case. I mean, there's a gun charge that you know is dealt with in the wrong way. There's a lack of a lineup. There's a eyewitness identification of my client that's done in a bad way. There are so many holes and suspect parts of this story, and the Mariska is she's a remarkable woman, and it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure working here. My whole hope is that in this small arc with this character, I can be an adversary, a worthy adversary. You know, instead of setting up straw men and knocking them over, I hope simply to give life and substance to the opposition so that we can tell these stories with more depth.